what you're teaching them is the same thing that I would want to teach my children and young people in tech or anywhere, right? Which is, if you see something broken, go do something about it, right? It's like, and the fact that it's like, you're right. It doesn't matter how big or small. It's just learning that something can be done, and like, and that people, I think sometimes we play the victim too much and say like, well, it can't be fixed. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to help us. No, go ask the TD Garden. Go ask anybody, and somebody will say yes. Some people will react and say like, if you give a clear ask, it's something that we need to teach our people to ask, because I think we're afraid of asking. This is something that we feel like we don't feel that we deserve the right to ask.
Yeah, and I think for our young people to recognize that there are systemic problems, right, that they are experiencing, sort of what's not working from a societal standpoint, and that they can sort of say to their elected officials, hey, I need to talk to you. I need to meet with you because this is not working. Or there are disparities that we need to name. And then how do we hold the system accountable to do something about it? And I think that for me is key, right? That, and, I have sort of a very small example. I remember a couple of years back, our eighth graders, because we begin with eighth grade, and our eighth graders were starting to learn this concept, right, of making a difference. And they began to speak to a basketball court that they were going to. And they're like, but the basketball court has no nets, right? But if we cross over to Brookline or other neighborhoods that are more well off, they have nets. So why don't they have nets? So their task at that moment was to find out who owns that park, who owns the who's responsible for maintaining those basketball courts. Well, it's this is the owner. How can we write letters? How can we begin to let them know that it's not right? And say, how can we fix it? How can we make a difference? And in fact, you know what? That basketball courts now has nets. But it's an example of how, you don't have to just sit and take it because that's just the way it is. It's like you can really sort of make a difference. And for us, making sure that our young people also recognize that they can get civically engaged, right? When they turn 18, register to vote, show up for elections, speak your mind, and do that, because that's the only way things that are unjust are going to change.